Hello everyone and welcome to the Smashi Business Show. Today is Thursday, September 18, 2025 and I'm Abdul Majid Awan and I have a special host with me.
And I'm Samir Rahman. We've got a packed show for you.
And we're going to discuss very interesting topics today. Very, very interesting. Will Carrefour leave UAE too after Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman and Jordan exits? Majid Al Futtaim has talked to the National and we'll tell you all about it. Adnoc, which is the biggest oil and gas company in the UAE, it is a government-led company. It is in Abu Dhabi. They were leading a consortium which withdrew its bid for $18.7 billion. They were trying to buy Australian oil and gas company Santos. Shows you they have a lot of money. They're just finding good places to invest. And lastly, we're going to talk about how Dubai Media Incorporated, which is official government media company by the Dubai government, has brought its advertising, commercials and sales in-house. And they have broken away from Choueiri Group, which is a Lebanese born group but is Dubai-based. The main idea in this is how Dubai Media is changing its strategy and how Choueiri Group is also changing its strategy. Very interesting stories, so stay with us. The very first story, let's start with Carrefour. Everyone has the question, Sami, is Carrefour shutting down?
No, I'm sure. 300 plus stores, bro.
Yeah, in the UAE, I think it's going to be very difficult. But Carrefour has shut all its stores in Kuwait just days after closing in Bahrain, and earlier this year in Oman and Jordan. If you follow Smashi Business, you would know that we covered all the closures. And the French retailer, which is Carrefour, their regional operator and franchise owner, Dubai-based Majid Al Futtaim Group, has replaced the outlets with its new grocery brand, Hypermax, focusing on local sourcing and affordability.
Analysts say Carrefour's regional struggles stem from growing competition, financial pressure, and changing consumer preferences. Rivals like Lulu have expanded strategically, while demand for e-commerce and discount options is limited in smaller Gulf states. Hypermax, meanwhile, offers Majid Al Futtaim more control over branding and supply chain.
And a very good point made by Sami before the show that is it Majid Al Futtaim or it is Majid Futtaim? The proper pronunciation is Majid Al Futtaim. But since my name is Majid, so I know it's Majid. No. But since I've arrived in UAE, everyone calls me Majid. So kind of like I've started calling it Majid Al Futtaim also.
Yeah,
but it's
Majid.
The closures also come amid political sensitivities. We all know about the Gaza genocide that's happening, and Carrefour has faced pressure from the boycott, divestment, sanctions movement, which is in short is called the BDS movement, over alleged ties to Israeli settlements. Experts, which were quoted by the National, suggest a homegrown brand like Hypermax helps Majid Al Futtaim sidestep boycotts while better appealing to consumers seeking regional identity and locally sourced products.
Despite these shifts, Carrefour remains firmly established in UAE, where analysts believe an immediate exit is unlikely, like I said. Majid Al Futtaim continues to operate more than 390 Carrefour stores across 12 markets. Still, the rise of Hypermax signals a major shift in Gulf retail towards localization and independence, which is fairly right, I believe.
And a very important story, since we're both from Pakistan. When Carrefour arrived in Pakistan, I still remember, it was in Dolman Clifton. They didn't come as Carrefour. They came as Hyperstar.
Yeah, it's completely different name. It didn't continue for very long.
Yeah, right? I think it was 2 years, maximum 3 years. They rebranded again to Carrefour.
It actually went for long, because remember it opened in Lucky One as well and opened as Hyperstar rather than Carrefour. When later on, I believe after 5-6 years.
If I remember correctly, I asked one of my business journalist friends at that time that why this, because the logo and the branding, the colors, everything is like Carrefour. And everyone said that it is Carrefour, it's just rebranded name. They said the naming conventions were problematic. They had to find some, I think the licenses for the names were expensive or something. So they were like, we'll just
call it something else.
Call it something else for the time we get all the license and everything in place. But they have already done it. We know, we've seen it in Pakistan. But Majid Al Futtaim, I think the move is very good, because we've seen, everyone can say they're facing competition, monetarily they're not working, blah, 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 blah. But I think boycotts are one of the biggest reasons.
Yeah.
One of
And
the-
keeping in
yeah.
mind that Lulu is a locally grown brand.
Yeah.
So, and they are not being boycotted at
Yeah.
all. So
At all.
that's a very big
Yeah.
plus point on their
Yeah.
their side.
And
right?
I think pricing wise also Lulu is cheaper. I've realized some actually if you go to all of the places, you go to Viva stores, you go to Lulu, if you've been to every one of them, you'll realize that everyday groceries nearly the same prices.
Yeah.
Spinneys obviously they market themselves as premium.
Spinneys, Waitrose,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Grandiose, they're
Yeah,
premium.
you can't say that, oh, Spinneys, let's compare the
Yeah.
Carrefour prices, because
Yeah, no,
they'll
no.
give you the best apple, the most shiny apple, without anything
No, they
apple.
handpick their fruits,
Yeah.
bro. So you don't need to go and search for the right apple to
Yeah.
put in your
You
basket.
can just
right?
pick up anyone.
Yeah.
It'll be the
Yeah,
right apple.
yeah.
But in Carrefour, yeah, sometimes you have to like do it. Lulu, you have to do it. But the main thing is not pricing, because in Carrefour,
Carrefour, yeah.
when you go, some things are cheaper than Lulu as well, which I have realized because
It
I take the whole
actually,
round
it-
for everything.
I believe it.
Yeah.
It depends on the time that you go to.
Yeah.
If you go on the last weekend of the month, you'll find cheaper prices, right?
Because expiring stuff, so
yeah,
bring them down,
expiry,
sale,
not
sale,
just
sale.
expiry. It's the salary week for most of the
Yeah.
people. They're going out for groceries. They're doing bulk shopping, so they provide more discounts, I believe. Whereas throughout the month, I believe Lulu might be
Yeah,
more
Lulu
cheaper.
might be better.
Yeah, more cheaper.
Groceries, I've realized Lulu is better. Cheaper.
But only during the month. But at the end of the month, Carrefour brings in their guns, bro.
I always buy the perfumes and deodorants and body sprays and all this always in bulk, because there's always one plus one free, right?
Yeah.
So if it's one is for 24,
Shower gel, all that.
everything,
Yeah.
it's always one plus one free. So always buy it at that time. Very good techniques. But yeah, let's
Moving
move
on.
on to a very interesting story. A little complicated to understand, but we'll try to make it simple for you. An XRG-led consortium. XRG is an investment company which Adnoc created to invest internationally. That's the best explanation.
Easiest way to explain it, yeah.
So XRG-led consortium, including Abu Dhabi's ADQ, which is a sovereign wealth fund, which is nearly $300 billion with assets under management, and Carlyle. Carlyle is a US investment company. They have withdrawn their $18.7 billion non-binding offer for Australian oil and gas producer Santos. The move ends months of exclusive talks, just days before Santos' scheme implementation deadline, with the consortium confirming it will not make a binding bid.
The consortium cited a combination of factors for the decision, while Bloomberg sources point to valuation and tax disagreements. Financial Times reports claimed Santos insisted the consortium cover capital gains tax liabilities and failed to disclose a long-running leak at one of its facilities, discovered later through media reports.
So yeah, why would you invest? But had it succeeded, if this deal went through, the deal would have been Australia's largest all-cash corporate takeover and Adnoc's biggest acquisition yet. It's like someone coming and buying Adnoc. So Adnoc going and buying Santos would have been that big.
Yeah.
Despite offering a 28% premium per share over Santos's pre-deal, the consortium could not reach an agreement. Analysts, which were quoted by Bloomberg, say the decision raises questions about Santos's valuation. I think this is the biggest contention point.
Yeah.
Even for a less price-sensitive buyer like XRG, who can splash money, they don't care.
Regulatory approvals in Australia, the US, and Papua New Guinea were expected hurdles, but sources say the withdrawal was purely commercial. XRG continues to expand its portfolio, including stakes in Convestro, Adnoc subsidiaries, and Borouge, with plans to double its 80 billion assets and explore other opportunities in Australia's energy sector.
Basically, when XRG was formed, which was formed recently last year, and not that old of a company, they just thought that, oh, now we're making so much money, we need to invest in international markets.
Yeah.
Because locally, they are the kings, right?
Yeah,
So they
are.
don't need to
They are.
invest here.
Yeah.
XRG was made with the target of reaching $100 billion by the end of this year.
Oh.
They're already at 80 billion. So
They will reach
it's great that they're doing it. The only thing about all this is why it is important to a normal person like you and me. The main thing is that if one state-owned company like Adnoc goes and buys a listed company in Australia, which is one of the biggest oil and gas companies.
In Australia, yeah.
Just imagine the amount of money they will bring in from there as well.
Yeah,
and
true.
overall, I don't think people connected that these big giants doing good eventually translates to that money coming into people also, because more jobs, more and Adnoc, again, linked to the state, so state will give you more facilities, more parks, more roads. It's kind of like a very long trickle-down effect, which I'm talking about, but it happens. So
we've seen it in the past, so it will happen.
And I think the last budget, just to link it to the last budget that we saw, it was $750 billion budget, which was approved for the next year. No, for 2025. And look at the amount.
$750
billion dollars. So UAE earned 750. I think it was 750 to 780, somewhere in between. They earned that amount in 2024, and they were like, let's put the budget exactly like that. So the amount they make, the amount is that they spend. They don't want to save anything. So it's very interesting to see this, that whatever they earn, they put it back for the next year or the next year for the next year. So very proactive moves. But let's come to one of the Emirates, I think. Dubai
why not?
Media Incorporated, Dubai government's official media organization, is taking advertising sales back in-house, ending a decade-long partnership with the Lebanese-born Choueiri group. The move reflects Dubai Media's strategy to reshape its business model and gain greater control over its commercial operations.
Choueiri Group, founded in 1975 by Anthony Choueiri, sorry if I pronounce it wrong, pioneered media representation in the Arab world. For decades, it managed advertising for major broadcasters including MBC, Lebanese Broadcasting Corporation International, and Dubai Media itself, becoming a gatekeeper for regional TV and media spending.
Yeah, and the partnership with Dubai Media lasted around 10 years, similar to its long-standing relationship with MBC, which is Saudi. After 15 years, MBC ended its contract in December 2020 and now manages advertising internally through MBC Media Solutions, reflecting a wider regional trend of broadcasters moving away from third-party representation.
Choueiri Group has adapted to the digital era, expanding into OTT streaming and digital advertising. It now partners with platforms such as Pinterest across several Arab countries and lists Snapchat, Kuwait among its clients. The family-owned business continues to be led by Pierre Choueiri, that's how you pronounce it?
He's the son of Antoine Choueiri. They have different spellings, but Antoine Choueiri is the main founder. He's actually called, when I was reading about him, he's called the father of new media and media partnerships and media agreements in Middle East.
I'm sure. In the Middle East, they are the giants.
Yeah, and the way media's decision also coincides. There's a lot of news attached with this decision. It coincides with the appointment of Steve Smith. He is the former COO, Chief Operating Officer of Arabian News Network. You must have seen ARN News, etc. ARN also has this 101.6 channel, which is Indian, Hindi, radio channel. They have so many things under them.
They have this segment at Virgin Radio as well.
Yeah, so they work on a lot of things. And this guy who has come in, Steve Smith, he was the CEO of that Arabian Radio Network.
COO.
COO.
Yeah.
And now he is running he's the senior director in Dubai Media. So I think he's taking some commercial experience from there. He went back to Australia, I heard, and then he came back. He's been called back.
He's been called back, would you know that?
So the in-house sales team will oversee advertising for Dubai Media's portfolio, including Dubai TV and Dubai Sports. And if you know Dubai TV, you will know Shark Tank is one of their projects.
Alongside in-house advertising, Dubai Media has partnered with Comset Technology Solutions to launch a new streaming platform this year. Later this year, the dual move signals the organization's ambition to strengthen its role in the digital media era, asserting control over content distribution and revenue generation.
I think it's a very normal move. I think they should have done it earlier.
They've learned they learned the tactic in the past 10 years. Now they're just implementing on their own. They have the money to do it, and they think it's the wise decision to do it. Right?
Sometimes I think of it again, Pakistan. So we can have this discussion. I think for the very first time in Pakistan also, if you look at the big giant, I think what's the name? 3M Group or something group.
3M is
something Mind Group. Mindshare. They own like 90% of They're like Choueiri Group of Pakistan, right?
Yes, they own everything.
You can't do any media selling or buying without going through them.
Yeah, it's one of their company.
Yeah.
It's one of their company.
And the funny story was, when I was learning media buying and selling, I had one course in Greenwich during my master's. So the guy who came, He was the head of non-Unilever operations in Mindshare.
So imagine that they have another person who's taking care of other side of the business.
So they in Mindshare, like it's the biggest media partnership company, media selling buying
Media
company
house, let's
in
just
Pakistan.
call it media house, yeah.
It's a media house.
Yeah.
Imagine they have two big divisions. One is non-Unilever operations and one is Unilever operations.
Because Unilever is
Itself
cash cow.
a whole
It's
thing.
a cash cow.
So
And-
90% of Pakistani business they own, and he told me a very interesting story that sometimes when they go to sell spots, like you have 4 spots before any show restarts
Yeah.
or show ends.
Yeah.
He's like, the biggest one he sold was for a Pakistan-India match on PTV Sports. So I was talking to him, I was like, and it's a very interesting field, even with Choueiri Group, just setting up that idea between the media house, which has the product to place your ad, and the brand. Just being a partner in between is very big.
Yeah.
I think the only problem they faced, which Rich actually gave me a long, interesting chat
Insight
over
about?
how Choueiri
Okay.
Group is. They were very big. They were the biggest fish in the market when TV was big and radio was big.
Now the people are moving away from
Yeah.
TV.
So now with digital coming in,
But
taking
that
Pinterest.
no, but that explains. I know that
Yeah.
Pinterest is first step, but they are also moving
Yeah.
towards OTT. They are moving towards
Yeah.
Pinterest. They are moving towards Snapchat. Snapchat, by the way, we don't know, but it's super big in Saudi.
Yes.
and
So-
and other Gulf
Yeah.
regions. They're
So they
super
have
big.
Snapchat Kuwait. Most probably they'll try if they are big enough, and which they are. I think they'll use their legacy, and Pierre, the son of Antoine, most probably will use his legacy to somehow now become the big fish in digital.
Yeah.
But right now, I won't say they're struggling. They're just finding their footing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Moving from the conventional media
To the digital media now.
digital media part of the world. So yeah.
So that's a wrap for today. Thank you for tuning into Smashi Business Show. Make sure to follow us across all social media channels at Smashi Business and stay ahead with our daily newsletter. You'll find the subscription link in the description.
Thank you, Adamat Peace. He says hi there, so hi there. But
Hi.
yeah, we're finishing the show. You can listen to the show, watch the show. We are on every platform. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google, YouTube Music, which is now
Podio.
with Podio, everywhere. Wherever you try to find us, we'll be there.
Yeah.
You can listen to our show completely. But yeah, thank you for commenting. And this has been a Smashy Business Show, Smashy Business production, part of the Augustus Media Podcast Network. A big shout out to our more than 2 million monthly listeners across all platforms. You make this possible. If you're one of them, we appreciate you. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow on Friday.